Hey y'all, back again unexpectedly this week because it's the playoffs. But yeah, we're here with Thomas Petersen. Um,
Hey,
tell tell the people about yourself, Thomas.
about myself. So I'm a physician part time, I like to say, and then I'm a crazy Eagles freak nerd, about full time. Um, yeah. So obviously I'm from Denmark, so that gives a lot of challenges. But just setting this up, Matt, and of course, thanks for having me on here. We've been working on this for about a couple of months now, and
Yeah, absolutely.
all the logistics about your texting me in the evening. I just woke up like, what are we doing? So it was great to finally get it done in playoff week.
Yes, absolutely. So how did you? So from Denmark, how did you become a Birds fan, man?
So my older brother, when I was about 9 or 10, he was 16, 17. He and his friends, they started an American football club locally, and I just know I looked up to my brother, copied what he did, and so I started naturally playing football as well. So I've been playing football for about 18 years, and naturally, like a year or something into playing football, of course we watched NFL a lot because look up to those guys, and everything we did on the field was not remotely close to anything happening in America. Still isn't. I would say that. So of course I think it was Eagles played the Cowboys, of course, and so that at that time there was Brian Dawkins playing, and just a bunch of cool guys, and I liked the uniforms, and I started watching a little bit, and really it was not as much about the uniform things, the players, and all that. Really, it was just when the Eagles played, like I just got this extra feeling, like got a little bit more emotional into it, so it just kind of came naturally, and so it just went on from there. And now I've been in Philly 3 times, and watched some games, and went there for a Super Bowl as well. Partied on Broad Street, and now I'm just hooked.
So you went to so did they open up the stadium for Super Bowl week?
No, they didn't. We went to I think it was isn't it? It's called, is it Fishtown in
Oh, Fishtown. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
So
Absolutely.
Bleeding Green Nation, I believe, with John Barchard and those guys. They had like they had an event, a Super Bowl event, and so my girlfriend and I decided that if the Eagles were to make the Super Bowl that year, then we would either buy tickets for the game or we would go to Philadelphia. And we didn't have enough money, and we couldn't get the loan to get it to go to the game, so we decided that we could save a ton of money and have an even better experience going to Philadelphia. And if they won, which they hopefully, like, they did, it would be such an experience. So yeah, we lived. I have a house mother, like a woman I live with when I'm in Philadelphia, and I know her well now. So we stayed at her place, and Eagles won, and it was crazy experience. Where that was the best decision of my life to go there.
That's awesome, man. Awesome. Well, let's get into some football. Um,
Let's do it.
so do you think the Cowboys built any momentum? Because as an Eagles fan, and I try to separate my fandom from how I'm really assessing the game,
Yeah, me
but
too.
I try to think about that last game. And personally, I think if I was watching the Eagles do what the Cowboys did, like playing our franchise quarterback that I'm paying $70 million this week, this year, playing against a team's third string team, seeing him celebrate. I feel like it was fool's gold, but do you have a different perspective on that? What do you think about what the Cowboys were doing in that last game?
Um, to just to like, I like how I like you're thinking of going like a fan side and going of an objective side, because it's always difficult to do when you're as much connected as we are to the team, right? You always get
Yeah,
your feelings into it.
absolutely.
If you turn it around, if it was the Eagles playing all their starters in meaningless games against Cowboys backups, I would be pissed off. I was thinking it was the most needless thing to do. Like, it was like, what are we doing here? So I guess it can work in two ways. And what the Cowboys obviously wanted to do is have the game that they had. Like Dak Prescott throwing, was it like 5 touchdowns, a bunch of yards. The whole offense was working. They scored on basically every drive they had. So that they succeeded in doing that. Now, the risk in doing it is when you go against the 49ers and their D-line starts dominating you up front, because Cowboys did have offensive line struggles early in the season, and Dak Prescott has been on quite the duress. What you're risking is that you suddenly get like a reality check. All right, stuff isn't working anymore, and that this momentum that you build and this high that you're riding on, when things aren't really going your way, then you can really like you can hit like a bounce back effect.
Absolutely.
So they obviously got what they wanted. If they start off hot against the 49ers, I think that could work for them, but it comes with a risk. But you just have to think that Mike McCarthy knows his players, knows the way that they respond, and make a stratified gamble that way.
In my estimation, for shout out to John Madden, but how I've equated it is, it's kind of like you're playing with the throwback '85 Bears and you're playing on rookie mode. That's what they were doing, playing against Zach McPherson, the best defensive player. Now, I like Milton Williams has come on strong here, but that was the best Eagles defensive player that you faced last week. And Milton Williams, there were moments where Milton Williams really dominated that game.
Yeah. Actually, I'll say from an evaluation standpoint, I think the Eagles got more out of the game than the Cowboys did. I mean, because now like it's a free chance for the Eagles to see. I mean, they're going into the offseason as well. They may, we'll get into it, but they might lose this week, and then the season is over, and they go into an evaluation phase and say, who do we keep next year? They made like 1 million transactions with all these DBs, and they all looked subpar. Mm-hmm. So that is valuable information for them moving into the offseason. Who do we keep? Who do we like? Where are we deep? Like, what do we do moving forward? And a guy like Milton Williams stood out. The running backs, Jason Huntley, got elevated off of that game because he got some chances to show in the punt return game, kick return game. And so I think the Eagles got more out of it than the Cowboys, but we'll see.
Exactly right. Exactly. So do you think? So how most people on Twitter know you, smart people who follow you, you really throw out there a lot of really cool stats, interesting stuff, and get a lot of attention on important things, not
hopefully
nonsense.
They're important things. Try to.
So, whose rookie receiving record do you think was more impressive, Devontae Smith or Deshaun Jackson?
Whose record was more if we can, like, if we're if we're differentiating between the record and their season, like, I think they're different players, and the environment that they played in obviously was a lot different from each other. I think Devontae Smith has been producing at an extremely high rate for the situation he was put in. He was basically, like, when they started this rushing attack that they should have been going with through the entire season, the focus naturally shifted away from the receivers, from the tight ends, and that sort of just got more sprinkled into the offense, with the rushing attack being the dominant factor. And it should be that way because that's the way that they're winning games.
Yes.
But then it's also a little bit complicated in that Jalen Reagor, you can argue, did he get too many targets? It was used in the right way? And the simple fact is that when Jalen Reagor was given the opportunities, he did not produce. When Devontae Smith has been given the opportunities, he has produced at a franchise record-breaking level. And simply just like, the yards are what they are. But the way Devontae Smith has been winning his routes, the way that he has been creating those yards in a totally expanded route tree, making absurd catches, and being as good as he has in the run game as a blocker, I just think it's a complete season for him. Where I think maybe Deshaun Jackson had some of the, like, Deshaun Jackson wasn't as not dominant, wasn't as effective as a blocker. He was like, he's a big play guy. With that being said, Devontae Smith had 3 touchdowns taken away this season off of penalties that were not on him. And so if you add those to his total, it is absurd. Like, that wouldn't even be a discussion about who had the more impressive season. So I hope that answers a little bit of the question on this.
Absolutely. That last point, I think, is the key point. And it was so frustrating last week against the Cowboys because it's about the halfway point of the game. It was still a close game. And one of the early touchdowns was the Cowboys effective. I think 3 of their touchdowns, they effectively ran the pick play that the Eagles just simply cannot run it. It blows my mind that they cannot run that play. They score
absurd.
and have it pulled back.
And they even called the pick play on. That was actually, they called it on Devontae Smith against the Giants. I think it was the first matchup the Eagles had against them, where it was.
Yeah.
It wasn't even like you have a slot cornerback lined up across from Devontae Smith. Devontae is moving outside because his key, like he was supposed to block the outside cornerback.
Yes.
And so he moves out there. The slot cornerback comes up, makes contact with him, and then they throw the ball. And so they called that a pick play. Devontae didn't. It was absurd in that regard. There's been so many occasions of that. But there's also been occasions where, like Greg Ward on one of Devontae Smith's callback touchdowns, he just straight up runs in and blocks a guy. Like, dude, you had one job.
Being a former quarterback, I'm a big proponent. If my listeners know, I'm a big proponent of the converted quarterbacks. I think having played quarterback, you have to understand everybody's position. So I think it's so weird that Greg Ward, of all people, wouldn't know how to run it, but.
And it's also like sometimes the things happen fast, because if you're in a stacked bunch and the DBs are lined up like really closely to you, from the snap till you get out there, I mean, you have a split second to not initiate contact. Like you want to make it look as if you're running straight in his lane and then not make the contact at that last second, so you don't get the call, and you still disrupt the DB's route towards the actual target. So I mean, sometimes like you look at it and you say, okay, I mean, things are moving fast, blah, blah, blah. But those situations the Eagles have been called in have just been bad.
Oh, absolutely. Do you think Jalen Hurts has shown you enough to go ahead and build around him with the draft capital, or you think we should at least have one eye open for Aaron Rodgers or Russell Wilson, or drafting a quarterback?
Do I think Jalen Hurts has shown enough that he should get next season as well? Absolutely. And the most important thing about that whole evaluation has come in the last 4 weeks, because some of the things that we saw a lot of early in the season, where you could just tell when he was getting out of the pocket, when he was starting to feel pressure, his resort out has always been just scramble and straight up run, and that has limited some of the opportunities for the offense where you have a design. Because all credit to Nick Sirianni, and throughout the season there has been open receivers and designs consistently. And in the early parts of the season, you could look back on the tape and see, oh, this guy was open, this concept would be working. But as soon as Jalen felt pressure, he went out of the pocket, he went away from that play, and it looked like it did not work. And so there wasn't really that synergy between Sirianni and Hurts in terms of what are we executing here. Then they start running the ball a ton and getting pressure off of Hurts' shoulders, and suddenly Hurts just seems more comfortable in the snaps that he is supposed to make the right read, when he is supposed to read the defense and make a good throw, because he's much more calm in the pocket, taking side steps, taking a step back, evading pressure, but then setting his feet up again and then throwing the football. We've seen 10 plus examples of that in the last 5 games, where he is setting up, feeling pressure, not panicking, taking one step, and then step into the throw.
That play against Washington, where he stepped up, evaded pressure, moved to the side, stepped up again, and delivered a throw, a back shoulder, well, not even shoulder, back ankle throw. I think that was to Ward. Amazing play.
Yeah, amazing play. And you said exactly right, because he's getting pressure off his right first. He steps a little bit to the left. He steps up in the pocket to get away from that. And then he relevantly starts to scramble out to his right, because he knows there's a guy coming from my right. I'm stepping to the side. I'm taking a look downfield. If that's not open, I'm probably going to have a free rusher in my back. And then you go to that same side again, off of the side that the guy came from. So that is a perfect example. And same one against the Giants, when he's moving back and he delivers that ball for Dallas Goedert. He did have a Devontae Smith coming across the middle on a drag as well in man coverage that was wide open, but he found Dallas Goedert also coming off to an out route. And that is all by setting up back one time, then stepping in and delaying a throw with anticipation out to that side. So it's those things where the timing is getting there for him, and that compensates for an arm that not yet is at that elite level. Because you can compensate a ton with timing, and he's doing that more and more. And that is when people ask me, is this fixable? Like, is certain traits fixable? One, I probably am not the right one to ask that. Two, timing as a passer is everything. If you can't hit a fastball, like if you don't have a cannon of an arm, if you don't have a Justin Herbert arm, then you can hit a curl by throwing it a half a second earlier before he hits on that break.
Yes.
Like, it doesn't matter how hard you can throw the football if you just have that, like if you're on pace with your receivers.
Yes.
So,
absolutely.
I think they should always, to answer your question, I think they should always keep an eye out for like certain ways to upgrade the quarterback position. I do not believe they should go out and spend tons of draft capital on an Aaron Rodgers or a Russell Wilson or a Deshaun Watson. When Jalen Hurts is developing the way that he is, and you're making the playoffs with him, he is an elite asset as a runner. He's developing as a passer, and now you have 3 first-round picks and a second-round pick. You could go out there and you can finally start investing in the defense, or you can hit on some more like offensive line. They have a really good situation right now to build around the quarterback, something they haven't done too much in the last many years.
No, I can't emphasize it enough. This is a very enviable position that the Eagles find themselves in, with a quarterback in year 2 who next year, he's not going to make any waves. He wants to come back, be at a really low salary, but then maybe if he leads you back into the playoffs that next season, then you can get him early at a reasonable salary, continue to build around him. That was the key to how 17 ended up a Super Bowl, is because you still had Carson on a rookie deal. You got elite level quarterback play from a Nick Foles who was out of the league. And so you get some time to really spend, elite assets on positions other than the quarterback. So,
yeah, exactly.
Please.
And looking a little bit ahead as well, like next year, they're gonna have more. They're gonna have more cap flexibility than they've had in prior years, because they've been been cap strapped. But next year is gonna be a little bit better. But in 2023, it's gonna be bonkers. Like, because then they're totally off of Carson Wentz's contract. And like, Matt, if Eagles go out and they beat Buccaneers, we're gonna be sitting here next week and saying Jalen Hurts next year, everything like full go ahead of steam. Like, it is a short-term memory thing, but I think we were looking at the 17 weeks minus bye week, minus one game he missed. Like, we have a pretty good sample of him progressing already at this point. But if they win against the Buccaneers, it is a very easy question. They 100% should upgrade on whatever they can in the draft with their 3 first-round picks, and then they have 1 year extra experience next year for those rookies, and then they're going to have a ton of cap space. And if Jalen Hurts is that guy moving into 2023, they're going to be set up in a very good position moving forward. And even if Hurts isn't the guy, if he falls on his feet, he falls flat on his feet next year, I mean, you still have a solid core of young, high-end talent guys you drafted this year. Then you can trade your 3 first-round picks in 23, 24, 25, and then you go get some elite level quarterback at that spot. So I wouldn't worry too much about who the quarterback should be for the next 10 years in this draft or next year. I would bank on Jalen Hurts, build around him, see what you can have, because you obviously have a roster good enough to make the playoffs at this point. And let's see how far they get. Let's see what they develop into.
I'm with you 100%. So let's move into a lightning round. We got the Super Wild Card Weekend that we're running into right now. So let's go really quick. And if you have a score in mind, go ahead and give it to me. Raiders go to Cincinnati. What do you got there?
I got the Bengals. I'm a big fan of Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase. And I think they're gonna take them down handily. I'll say 38-27.
Okay. I got that one more, 31-14. I think they covered by more than 2 touchdowns. I think this is
Okay.
kind of a blowout. I think the
Yeah, I think it's
Raiders
going to be
used
a
a
low
lot of
score.
emotional energy.
Yeah.
Mhm.
They might be a little bit flat after what they just went through against the Chargers. They used all the energy on that.
Absolutely. Patriots go to Buffalo. Big game
Yep.
for Josh Allen. Big game for Bill Belichick.
Yep. I don't know about you, Matt, but ever since Tom Brady left the Patriots, I kind of had like a little soft spot for the Patriots because I
Yes.
really felt it was interesting watching that team again. When I've been
Yes.
for so many years been like, I don't
Yes.
want to hear about them. I don't want to watch their games. I don't want to
Yes.
watch Tom Brady check down 20 times and then be called the greatest ever. It's like when they split up, Tom Brady is now 100% more interesting for me. Like, oh yeah, all right, what he's doing with the Buccaneers is really impressive. And now the Patriots are like, I really like to see the Patriots. Like, what are they going to do? And when they win a game, it's like, okay. So that is a whole different situation. I think playoff Bill Belichick is a lot better than their last 4 games has been. Like they're going into the playoffs sort of an underdog, like losing these 3 out of 4 games. I'll go with the Patriots in a nail biter. I'm saying 31-28 Patriots.
Wow, high scoring. I'm with you on the nail biter. I think it's more 16-13.
Okay, yeah, I'll probably I mean, they'll probably go out and they'll run 95% of the time. It's going to be low scoring.
Ball control, boring
Oh,
game. Good
100%.
time to eat well on Saturday night and
Yep.
maybe fall asleep for a quarter and come back for the end. Niners at the Cowboys, one that we'll be watching right after the Eagles play. What do you think is going to happen there?
I think the Cowboys are going to win. I think they simply have a better team. The one, like we touched a little bit on it, the one wrinkle to have is the 49ers D-line is extremely good.
Mm-hmm.
And they have a unit that can take over games. So that might be the case here. But I just think the Cowboys have a better roster. I think their offense is very potent. I think they're probably just gonna cowboy it and fall flat and then go one and done. Yeah, but I think they will win it though. I'll say that.
Okay.
Let's go a little bit of a low scoring here. 21-17.
That's what I think the score is. I just flip it. I think the Niners are going to figure out a way to beat it. Just control the game.
Yep.
Send
I
them
like
home
that. I
sad.
like that a lot. I like yours a lot better.
Steelers at Chiefs. I think Steelers are about to get run over pretty
They're gonna
badly.
win it, right? Right. Underdogs. No, they're gonna get
No,
whooped.
yeah,
They're
they're
gonna
gonna
get
get
whooped.
whooped pretty bad.
Yeah. Yeah.
Cardinals at the Rams.
Very good game as well. Like I think we like touched a little bit on with the Patriots that they're kind of low going into the playoffs. I think I don't have any confidence in Matthew Stafford right now. Uh, and I know the Cardinals as well are kind of underperforming. I think this is a coin flip game. Rams. I think I'll go
Okay.
Rams.
At home. At home.
Yeah.
So the main event, 1:00 Saturday or 1:00 Sunday. Sorry,
Yeah.
y'all. 1:00 on Sunday. Eagles at the Bucks. Who do you got there?
See, I have this I have this kind of this superstition whenever I'm predicting Eagles are winning, they're always going to get blown out. So if my official prediction is that Tom Brady is going to absolutely smoke the Eagles secondary and the offense is going to and the offense and Sirianni are going they're going to figure it out and they're going to keep with it like for most of the game. I think it's going to be this could be very high scoring. I think the Eagles have the offense to stick with them throughout most of the game. Eagles have improved a lot since the last time they played. I'll go 31-28 officially Buccaneers, but I actually think the Eagles have a chance. I think the Eagles might actually win this game.
I hope you're wrong. Not on the Eagles having a chance, but on if this becomes a high scoring game, the Eagles are going to lose.
Yeah.
I think the Eagles' only hope is that they ball control Jordan Howard, hammer it, Jalen Hurts on the keeper. If we try to get into a shootout, if Sirianni starts trying to get cute, we're gonna have a couple key bad plays that have us not doing as much fly Eagles fly. But hopefully I'm wrong.
What I really want this game to be is the Chargers game, only with the defense making one more stop.
Yes.
Do you remember the Chargers? Because
Yes.
that game, you just had the feeling that if Hurts got the ball back, just one stop from the defense and Hurts got the ball back, Eagles will go down, they would score, and then win that game. That's what I think they'd have to bank on this game, getting one last drive to go ahead and not give the ball back to the Buccaneers.
I'm with you, man. Well,
and
Thomas,
also,
go ahead.
If Jonathan Gannon comes out and he plays off coverage, backed off soft zone,
we're done.
I'll buy a ticket to Philadelphia. I'll drive him to the airport. I'll fly him out of there, and then I'll fly back home to Denmark.
bring him back to Denmark.
Yeah. we might find a spot for him on a team around here. He could be like you'd be an assistant coach.
Some arena football or something. Well, Thomas, thank you so much for making time. I'm glad we finally got to make it happen. Tell my listeners where to find you online and follow and support you.
I am on Twitter at ThomasRP93, and but if you're gonna find anything, just go to the YouTube. Go to Breaking the Birds. If you like a player, I probably made a video on him, and if I haven't, then make sure you tell me and let me know what player you would like me to review, and we'll go break down some tapes of that guy.
Awesome. Thank you, Thomas. Take care, y'all. Fly Eagles fly. All right, y'all.